Hello everybody, welcome back to another league racing video. We are here, this is the third race at the Houston Karting Complex for their winter series. Just adjusting my camera a little bit there. This is the reverse short? It's one of the short tracks, I'm not sure which is forwards and which is backwards. At the end of the formation lap here, and green flag, and we are going. Get a terrible start here. Drop right back into 8th place, barreling down this very long straight into this right, what is it? It's a right left, yeah. So the left and then this, right, left. It is, you can carry a little more speed, but the more speed you carry through the right, the less you'll be able to carry through the left. And you really want to be able to prioritize your exit so you can get a good run here. As I missed my braking point completely, moving into last. That is the move of a champion right there. I never really felt comfortable all weekend long. I was dealing a lot with, I was just losing grip in very weird places, especially on left-hand turns. It was a decently common occurrence to lose grip, or at least not have the traction you think you should have. But yeah, just on a couple of turns, I was kind of at a loss for what I should do, and then on the brakes into that turn, I was kind of, I wasn't really confident with it, and we catch up to the back of this pack pretty quickly over the course of about 2 turns. This turn I was really struggling with. You'll see me sawing at the steering wheel. I'll be hacking at it, because usually you can get on the gas pretty early and just kind of ride out the corner, but here just couldn't do it. For whatever reason, the rear right just wasn't gripping up. It would grip up and then not grip up, and grip up and not grip up, and it would just randomly. So I'm very confused, honestly, even with the recording. I'm still just very confused. Still rocking 9th place here. I try and prioritize my exit. I see these 2 guys fighting, so I really try and get a straight line exit out of there, and I do a decent job at it. Here, getting up into 8th place, bump drafting down in front, leaving the space on the left. Check if he's there. He is not. So we fly through this right left, and that corner actually ended up being a lot of fun. It's low-key kind of sketchy, but when you do it well, it feels really, really nice, and it's real good. Also unrelated, but if my voice kind of sounds weird, I'm kind of sick, but not really, so we'll see about that. Just about to head on to lap 5 here, once again sawing at the steering wheel, and I feel like I was just losing time everywhere. I've been pretty much on the pace previously, but I mean here I just don't know where I was going wrong. It was just kind of everywhere. I just wasn't really fast. Looking back, I think I maybe went a little bit too far forward with the balance and kind of where my center of mass was. I don't know how much of a difference that actually makes, but I do tend to I like to get these SODI carts to rotate a lot. I feel real comfortable with those. But here, because of the back right, it would grip up and not grip up, so it would over-rotate sometimes and under-rotate sometimes, and I couldn't really get a good feel for it. And I feel like if I ended up moving the seat back a little bit, moving the pedals back a little bit, I could have kind of gotten more weight on the back tires. Maybe that would have helped. I'm not really sure, but I don't know. And then here you can see I'm just losing like 1/10, 2/10 every single lap to this guy in front, and this is pretty much my pace now. Like it's not really like, oh, I'm making some mistakes here, or I'm just not really pushing fully here. Like, this is pretty much where my pace is at. I was not the only, I don't want to say fast driver, because everybody here is real fast, or everybody's pretty fast, but kind of more towards the front. Simon, I think his name is. Guy, he's in 9th right now. He won the last race. He's the guy I spent 20 laps behind when we were going the other direction. Yeah, he got cut out by it too. So I think it was just kind of some issues with the karts, but also I think specifically for this corner, I feel like this was on me. There was another corner, I believe it was turn 8 on the track map. That one, the car just would not turn right. I even tried to like set up and like really try and just kind of ride the curb around. It just would not turn. It would not do it. And then this here was maybe on me, but it was I wasn't really confident with like carrying the brakes in, and I just heading on to lap number 9 here shortly, getting a terrible run out. I did actually hit those barriers in qualifying. I did tap those twice. It was on back-to-back laps. It wasn't really a hit. It was more of a graze. But yeah, I tapped it one lap. I tapped it the next lap, and I never tapped him again.
My goddamn seat moves back again.
As you can see me very proudly and happily, I'm sure, screaming that for the second time in a row, my seat has moved back mid-race. I don't really know what the issue is there, but yeah, second time in 3 races that my seats moved back mid-race, and I think it did give me a little more rear end stability, but I mean, even still, like it wasn't enough to like make a difference, make a proper difference. And this turn 5, it was so much fun. In qualifying, I didn't really push the entry to that, but I really tried to focus on the exit. But in the race, I kind of toyed with it, trying to figure out if I could find some pace somewhere. And you can pretty much take the right hand flat out, maybe a little lift to kind of set up the left hand, but I mean, it's really just a balancing act of how much do you want to gain on entry versus how much do you want to gain down the straight, and it kind of, the way you decide that is kind of up to what your kart is good at. And I felt comfortable really pushing on entry and kind of cutting the exit a little bit. And so that's what I did, and I did that for most of the race. Excuse me. Yeah, this is just tricky. Yeah, it was just on me. Like, it's for turn 10, like that's.
The car is fucking terrible. It's actually fucking terrible.
Yeah. I was very happy with the kart I'd drawn, as you can tell. We were getting ready to draw karts, and the guy ahead of me, who qualified ahead of me, he drew kart 11, the one that I have. I have kart 11 right now. He qualified in that kart, and he said, hell no, I don't want that one. And so he redrew, and he got a different kart. And then I was like, man, I hope I don't get kart 11. And then I drew, and it was, what do you know, kart 11. And I don't know if it'll come across in the audio. I have it turned down, so I don't think you'll be able to hear it. But it was, the kart was scraping on the ground, like especially in left-hand turns. Like it would like scrape on the ground and kind of unload the tire a little bit, and that's also what kind of contributed to losing grip on the rear and kind of losing that confidence. But yeah, and I watched I'm racing in C News, and I watched the junior class before I qualified. I watched their race, and it was bouncy for everybody, so I do apologize because the camera is the stabilization is very good, but then also it was just so bouncy that day. It was incredibly bouncy. I've never really had it be that bad. It's yeah, it was something else, man. I did feel confident on the exit of 5 there, kind of pushing right up out to the barriers. I felt good there, and then here there was a little mark. It was like a tire mark or something, and I brake there every single time, and it works good most times, except for the first lap when I didn't hit the brakes hard enough. halfway through the race now, or just about halfway through the race, and we are still P8. P9 at this point is probably 10 seconds back. I don't think he had very much fun this whole time. So. Sucks. That sucks. Once again through turn 5, and we have been catching Miss Sarah. The cart in front of us, her name's Sarah. She's real cool. She was also having that issue with kind of the grip not really being there, and it kind of loading and unloading and loading and unloading. And I had a little bit more confidence into 5, so you'll see throughout the rest of the race, I'll be able to carry a lot more speed through turn 5, and I'll lose a little bit on the straight, but most of the time I will just be able to just close up through 5. And like there, I do lose a tiny bit heading onto the straight, but I mean I closed up 2 cart lengths there just from braking that little bit later. And here, this is that turn 8 I was talking about, where I just couldn't carry the speed through. Really, no matter what I did, I tried different lines, I tried different braking points, and yeah. And that, it did kind of catch me out. I wasn't expecting her to take that line. Usually people would take that a little bit tighter.
That line. Give me again, I'm gonna fucking keep that down.
I was very frustrated. I wasn't really thinking, I don't want to say positively, but like, you know, you get frustrated in the moment, and then it just kind of, you got to learn to kind of deal with that. Now, once again, I'm real close here, but I wasn't quite close enough for a move, unless I want to dive bomb. But then again, same thing as last week. That doesn't really reflect well with the stewards, so I'm not going to dive bomb. On to lap 18. We are a little bit more than halfway now. And I don't know if you can see, but the leaders are gone. Even 6th place is like gone. Absolutely just gone. There's no way we're catching up. The best I could do today is 7th if I'm able to pass Sarah. So we'll see what happens. But this was, they actually had an air show going on nearby, so there was some cool kind of World War I, World War II planes just flying about. You might see them in the video if you kind of glance up every now and then. Lap 19, we're kind of holding pace, holding distance here with relative to the cart in front, but closing up crazy at the end of this straight, and then just carrying not a little bit more speed through the right, but definitely prioritizing the exit through the left. And we're still about even, so that didn't really do much. And then into the braking, I was able to just carry that a little bit more, but then here she was able to carry more speed through 8, so I just couldn't keep up with that. You can see the difference through 8. And then she took a little bit of a wider line through 10, and yeah, I mean she was quick. We were just struggling with I don't really know what she was struggling with. You can see there she got pretty sideways actually, and we get alongside. There we go. We get alongside. Leave space, and I'm fully past now, so I hit the brake point. There we go. P7. That was surprisingly easy. Wasn't really much of a fight there. I don't think she really could do anything there. And then there, oh my god, I get a terrible exit. What do you know? And yeah, I'm just, yeah. There's a pothole there. There's a gap in the concrete. It's like this little brown hole. I'm sure you might have seen it at some point so far. But at one point, I did just straight up go over it, and I damn near, there. Look at that. I lost all of the traction coming out of the corner. She was able to get a very nice run underneath. I brake and try and get a switchback, but I did a very shit job of setting that up, and I probably could have just hugged it around the outside, because I was ahead. I could have just taken it normally, but for some reason I decided to try that. I shouldn't have done that. real close into 5. You see her getting sideways, and yep. I was struggling all day long. I was struggling, even in qualifying, despite the fact that it was a new layout, and it was a new kind of have to learn like what the conditions are, kind of what you can and can't push with. But those things are usually pretty, I don't want to say intuitive, but you kind of do them subconsciously. But I mean, this was just driver error. There's not really any excuse I can pull out. It's just I just wasn't good today. And yeah, so great. I was incredibly frustrated after the race. I felt like I definitely could have done a lot better, but I really was just confused about why I was so slow. And it just wasn't good. You see me there hitting the steering wheel, getting a shite exit. I mean, that was pretty much how it was all day long. So. That was kind of a dainty hit too. I'm looking back now. That wasn't really like a good hit on the steering wheel. That was kind of like a Christ. We were faster than Miss Sarah, but only by a little bit, and I think she did actually end up having a fastest lap than me. I don't know that her average, I don't think her average was lower than mine, sorry. I don't think her average was faster than mine, but I don't know. I was just quicker in one specific area, and that really set me up for the rest of it. You see they're really getting sideways for Kart 23 ahead. We've got about 5 laps left and 2 corners. So this is really coming down to it, and if I want to kind of keep myself really in this championship, then I really do just need to get past here. At this point, I wish I had like a live championship standings thing. I don't know where Dusty was at this point, but I know he was very far ahead. But I mean, I don't think even here, I don't think I would have been able to keep the lead. I dummy a move to the inside for some reason. I don't know why I didn't just take that. This is one thing that I'm kind of learning, that I'm not really going for moves for some reason, and I'm kind of double guessing it. Even last race I had like 1 or 2 real good opportunities to kind of send a move for the win. Like that was for the win, but I just didn't take it. So don't know what happened there, but whatever. It's very frustrating because, I mean, and even here, like, just trying to set up the exit, and she could just carry so much more speed, and like I just couldn't keep up through the low speed section. We were talking afterwards, and we were thinking kind of a lower tire pressure, but I mean, honestly, we don't really know. Getting a pretty good exit. Lap 28, turn 5, turn 6. Send up the inside. Finally took it. She wasn't there. Took turn 8. And there we go. 7th place. Now, at this point, it wasn't really, I mean, there were 2 laps left. I was definitely not able to catch the guy in front. They were like 10 seconds up the road. We were just so slow. It was really a question of, can I keep her behind? And I was pretty much able to. I think. I don't know. Maybe. Cut that out. Through turn 8. heading towards the flick of turn 9 at the super flip of turn 10. Flick, flick. What am I doing? Last lap. I was begging for this race to end. I was just waiting to be put out of my misery, pretty much. This was certainly one of the races of all time. It was, yeah. I think 6th place is getting ready to finish about now, so we'll see kind of what that gap is. That is definitely a handful of seconds, and that's the checkered flag, P7. I'm so happy with this result. Can you guys tell?
So, this car would randomly bottom out, and the rear right would kind of randomly just give up sometimes. That's why I was sliding on right-hand, fucking left-hand turn so much.
Thank you guys all for watching. I hope next race goes better. I will see you guys for that one. Goodbye.